We should be live now. Welcome to my channel. My name is Patricia Meredith, and I am an author of historical mystery, but I love all sorts of different books, and many of them have been turned into movies. So we thought it would be really fun to do a watch-along of Princess Bride, one of my all-time favorite books. And if you haven't read the book, it's excellent. Evie and Nico, have you guys read the book?
I have.
You have?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think the video is up anymore, but I did like a book to movie comparison with Andrew from Get Right On In a while, like when I originally first started a channel.
Okay.
And it was just like I maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I think the book is just as equally good as the film. Like, because William Goldman wrote the script and he's the one that wrote the book. Like, it's just they're different mediums, and so obviously things had to change, but it's just they feel so complementary to each other. So
absolutely, yes, there are bonuses to both. So yeah, absolutely, highly recommend reading the book as well as watching, of course, this fantastic movie. So if you're just now joining us, remember to say hi in the chat. And we are all on a watch party thing on Disney Plus. So if you go to Disney Plus, you should be able to stream it for free. Or if you have a copy, just watch it on your own. And then we'll just, as we're talking, you'll be able to tell where we're at. So if you're jumping in later, you'll be able to see where we're at in the film and you can catch on. So first, though, I would be remiss to introduce my wonderful cohorts here today. So first off, we've got Evie, and then we've got Nico. And so why don't you guys tell us what you like to read and why everybody must subscribe to you right
now? I really have no reason why people should subscribe to me. If you want to watch me stumble over my words like I just did now, sure. But no, in all seriousness, all joking aside, I just like doing these types of videos where they're more discussion based, and every now and again I'll do like a review, but mostly I like just having the discussions around books. And if you like that type of thing, if you like more long form stuff, I guess subscribe to my channel. Yeah, but I read a little bit of everything: classics, fantasy, sci-fi. Please read The Spirit Cuts Through Water, because I feel like that's part of my brand now, so I need to mention it at every living moment, breath. But yeah.
I don't know if I know that one, but I'll look it up.
Well, you can also find Evie and I doing classic reads with Tori and Kay, and we've been doing, Evie and Tori and Kay did, what was the first one?
Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, Wuthering Heights. And then I joined in for Jekyll and Hyde, and then we're reading Northanger Abbey for, I think it's next week. So
we'll figure out a day. We're still trying to figure that out.
So Nico, how about you? What have you been up to?
Well, hello. I'm Nico from Nico's Book Reviews. I mostly read fantasy. I have a big love of older fantasy books, and so I read more of those than a lot of the other BookTube people, I guess, is the slight difference, which usually means less people watch, but that's okay. I just like talking about books and reading whatnot. I'm not well read in classics. I have a little collection up here that I need to read. But I've been branching out a little more into sci-fi and some other stuff. I went and grabbed really quick because I have this fancy like storybook version of The Princess Bride, because I need to do a reread. I haven't read this in a long time. So I'm in the camp of the movie's better, but it's also been a long time. There's like illustrations. It's got these like parchment looking pages.
Whoa.
This
might need the
thing is super awesome. That's why I can't believe I forgot to grab it when we got in. So I'm like, oh, that's why I ran away for a second. It's out on the fancy bookshelf. But yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much me. I like talking about books. It's mostly fantasy. You'll probably see some you haven't heard of, and if that's your thing, you might enjoy my channel.
Absolutely. And beside me is Andrew D. Meredith, author of Epic Fantasy and sometimes YouTuber.
Sometimes, yeah. I know. I need to schedule my next Happy Abstinence. So, like my wife said, I'm a fantasy author, epic fantasy author. I'm the author of Deathless Beast, is book 1 of the Collation Saga, and Thrice is the book 1 of Needle and Leaf. Both series have book 2s out now. Both of these books are on sale for 99 cents on Amazon right now, so till the end of the month.
No, yeah, that's my book. There you go. So, and then we were going to do a giveaway today, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do. So if you want to enter to win Butcher Baker Candlestick Taker,
Any of these three
so
books.
first book in each of our series, in print, ebook, or audiobook, then you just need to write in the live chat as you wish, of course. And you get extra points or an extra entry if you've read the book. So let us know if you've read the book. And then tell us which version of the books you would prefer. And then we'll
Print
do a
is
drawing.
US only.
Yeah. Print is US only. But let us know which version you would like, and we'll send it out to you.
Yep.
So you need to be here live to be commenting on it. So we'll see what happens. All right. I think let's dive in.
Yep.
Ready to watch. I'm so excited.
Do it.
It's been a while since I've watched this, actually. So, all right.
Countdown.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess since we're all
push
watching
play.
together. Yeah.
So again, get it at 20th Century Fox if you're
Yeah.
watching from home right now. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Working? Yeah. So did either of you ever watch The Wonder Years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, yeah.
Yeah. Because this is about the same time period, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, my husband is out of frame right now, but he would chime in and talk about Little Monsters, right? Aaron?
yeah.
All Little Monsters?
Hi, Mandel.
The cartoon?
No, the one with Howie Mandel.
Oh.
Was it a cartoon?
No.
Oh, it was
Didn't
Little
say that.
Monsters, right?
Oh, I think of Real Monsters. That was a cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I definitely remember Little Monsters. That was an odd one. Remember that from my childhood.
Columbo.
So funny. Old makeup was not what it is now.
No. So I'm pretty sure it's just the same makeup from Columbo.
I still love. Wow, I'm definitely in the movie camp for movie versus book. The introduction to the book is just so perfect because it's so ridiculous. And the first time I read it, I remember I'm like, I had no idea that was the premise of the book at all. I had no idea, and I loved it. And it just made this scene even better for the movie because it's presented as him telling the story, and that's kind of the the whole gist of the book too. So
Yeah.
Well, it's funny how many people I've talked to who were like, "Oh no, Morgenstern really did write it, right? William Goldman is just the editor." It's like, oh, you're so cute.
Well, I think he wrote another. I think he marketed it as like an S. Morgenstern thing. The Silent Gondoliers. He wrote that. I think after The Princess Bride. I haven't read it yet, so.
Riding a horse, tormenting the farm boy that worked there. His name was Wesley, but she never called him that. Isn't that
Just to make sure you guys can't hear the movie
Yeah.
in my background.
nothing gave
Now I
Bob as much pleasure as ordering
For the audience at home, we're only working on that so that we don't get extra copyright.
Hi, Wizard.
Andrew.
I remember first time I watched this, I was disappointed with the beginning. I mean, because it doesn't start right in the middle of the ride. It's a baseball thing. I was like, what is this? This isn't sword fighting.
I
So
did see the movie first, I think too.
yeah, I did see the movie actually, no, I didn't see it until probably almost 10 years ago. That's relatively recent. And then I read the book obviously a few years ago, but the first movie that I ever saw Carrie Elways in was Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes.
So it was very
Yes.
confusing for me to see him as a romantic lead, like it's not a purely comedic thing.
Yes.
So, and you're right. It is a perfect beginning, but as a 8-year-old, I didn't get it, which is the part of the point, right? Is that it's supposed to be not what it's showing on the preview for anybody who went to see it, which nobody did because it was a cult classic, right? Because
Right,
they didn't market it.
So, fun fact, I was able to go to a Princess Bride screening at a theater, obviously pre-COVID, and Carrie Elways was doing a live Q&A after the movie. It was so great. So awesome.
That's so
That is super cool. I love Carrie Elwes, and Men in Tights is another one of my favorite of his earlier things.
Yeah.
I still remember the first time rewatching this as an adult and realizing that this is Robin Wright, and like never she was so much younger here than I'm used to seeing her in like other roles later, and so rewatching, I'm like, holy crap! Never realized that was her.
Also, Wallace Shawn as from Clueless, and I'm like, that's the teacher from Clueless.
Yeah.
So,
or what's the video game where he does his voice? Knights
In the new version of the new Knight's Tale
of King's Tale.
or King's Tale or King's Quest.
King's Quest.
The King's Quest
He
on
played King's
Xbox.
Quest like on Xbox.
Yeah.
He does the voice of one of the soldiers.
nobles,
of
yeah.
the nobles. Yeah.
So my mom's worked with Carrie Elways on set before, and he has in his contract that no one's allowed to quote Princess Bride around him.
oh, that makes me so sad.
Kids constantly quote it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want
He's
people
allowed
dropping
to.
it on him, but once he does it, then the window's open and you're allowed to.
Okay.
Because it's like it's continual, but he does it. He's the worst at it.
Oh, that's funny.
But
He's a really nice guy.
Wonderful person.
Really nice
yeah.
guy. As authentic as you think he is.
I just couldn't imagine him not being.
Exactly.
That would like completely break my mind.
Right.
It'd be like one of those like don't meet your heroes type situation. Be like, oh, that makes me sad.
Everything I ever heard. He's wonderful. One like in Psych, right, with Sean and Gus.
Yeah.
Right. Carrie always comes back like 3 times, right, over the course of the series.
I still haven't brought myself to watch. What was that? What was that movie called? That Saw.
Oh, is he in that?
Yeah.
I won't even watch the previews for those movies.
I didn't even actually realize it was him. I saw the movie. He looked so different. He looks more like himself later because he reappears. But I mean, it's one of those things that I've seen them. They're not bad, but I mean, if you don't want to see gore, you don't watch them.
Yeah.
So.
I will say that I love movie Buttercup more than book Buttercup, but they're just different. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Plus that it's all narrated. Like, well, the book is just, it's literally, it's like line for line. Because
Commentary.
both. Yeah.
I feel like it's a lot, the book is a lot darker. Not darker, but like it's more, it is not for kids. The book is not for kids.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Birdie would like to know if you recommend reading the books.
I do recommend reading the book. Absolutely. Yeah. Impressions.
Oh, Andre the Giant. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm so sad to hear when you died.
Well, and it is meant to be read out loud, I feel like.
It is.
There's all the spots where, like, this is the part where, my father would say this or, like, blah, 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 or whatnot, too.
Because, I mean,
It just makes it so much fun.
Yeah.
all the
Maybe once the kids are older or something.
Yeah. So, like there's the shark part, right? So it cuts out, and it does have the boy responding, right?
Yeah.
And the boy, right? So it literally, like, it's, but yeah, but not.
But same,
I mean,
but
even
screenplay was
was a little. So, but even the movie, I mean, it depends on your ability to handle it or not. Like, you always go through the.
Jared, think escape your lips. You're not hired for your brains, your hippopotatic lime mass.
Hi, Anita. I see you.
Anita! And Derry!
Hey,
Yes.
I wasn't even paying attention to the comments. I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you.
No, you're fine.
I'm not logged into the stream on my phone right now, so that's why I wasn't responding to comments.
Okay. People are joining. All good.
Between playing the movie and the stream, I didn't want to
Do too much, yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say that reading the book and reading Fezzik's backstory had me in tears. And knowing that William Goldman had Andre the Giant in mind when he was writing Fezzik, it's so great.
I've forgotten that. Yeah. It's wonderful. Come on, Inigo Montoya. I mean,
I was saying I do love Mandy Patinkin in this role.
do no wrong. Have you ever seen anything where he sings? Like
He's
Sunday in the Park with George. The film version is Mandy Patinkin.
Or I can't get through trying to sing Casey.
will be dead. Rhymes now, I mean it. Anybody want a peanut?
Necessarily watching it as much as
The cliffs of insanity.
You're right, Derry. Nobody else could have played Fezzik because the mountain wasn't born yet. The actor who plays the mountain.
I feel like the casting in general in this movie is just absolutely perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
I mean, there's very few roles that could be anything else.
We can all relax. It's almost over.
I know that, or I should say, I heard that apparently when they wanted an actual British actress for Buttercup. So when Robin Wright came in, they were like a little uncertain, and then she just obviously blew them away. And just, obviously the chemistry with Carrie Elways was just great. So,
Who, unlike other Robin Hoods, can do it in a perfect British accent.
Just thinking.
Kevin Costner.
I'm gonna have to watch that now, so my wife is gonna hate you guys for
That's fine.
making me want to watch that movie again. But
What the Kevin Costner Robin Hood?
no, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen the Kevin Costner Robin Hood?
Probably. I mean, it would have been so long.
What's the funniest part about Men in Tights is it is a spoof of specifically that Robin Hood, which in itself was a spoof, basically. If you start looking at the lines of what the sheriff,
Kevin Costner?
oh yeah, the Kevin Costner one is with the sheriff played by Rick,
Alan Ripken.
and he's not taking nothing's taken seriously. The whole thing's a spoof in the first place. They spoof the spoof.
Okay, gotcha. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure I've seen it at some point, but I don't really have any memory of that.
Alan Rickman is exquisite as sheriff. Yeah.
I think the most thing that I remember from the Kevin Costner Robin Hood is the theme song, which I'm completely blanking on now that I'm trying to remember it.
I always get that one mixed up as the one from Three Musketeers, which is All for One and One for All. They came out within like a year of each other, and they both had the same. I think the same writer wrote the two romance songs in each of them.
Yeah, it's like the quintessential like late '80s, early '90s
yeah.
ballad. So
Yeah.
Did you guys see the trailer for that new Three Musketeers movie?
yes, the French one. Yes, I
That
want to see it so bad.
That's right. Everything I do. Everything I do.
Good old
Do
Brad
it all
Adams.
for you.
But yes, Alan
That's
Rickman.
a cheesy song.
Absolutely.
Well, it took almost 2 years to complete.
You think you're brave, don't you?
It really is so simply filmed.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, we don't.
Just use subtitles, T.
Absolutely, yep. I think it's kind of odd that they're announcing it as 2 parts. I feel like if it's Three Musketeers, it should be 3 parts.
Ah.
You know, I still need to read the sequels. I never actually
I
finished
guess there's like
reading them.
5 or something.
Yeah, I had no idea. I've only read.
It's Three Musketeers, 20 years, 10 years, Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah.
It's the only ones I'm thinking
Oh
of.
yeah, that's right. Man in the Iron Man. I forget
And the
about
first
this,
book itself is
actually.
2 books,
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
how
I gotcha.
it's in 2 parts. It's before and up to the Milady affair where they're trying to get England to war and all that.
I've never actually read Three Musketeers. I've read Count of Monte Cristo.
Ah,
I
well, see,
love-
I love Count of Monte Cristo so much that I read Three Musketeers
These are all of them.
and meant to read the others. I like Count of Monte Cristo more, but
Yeah, I
it's
love
really good.
Monte Cristo. That's another book to movie that, yeah, that's one we could do. I love Monte Cristo.
The movies make me sad though,
Oh, why?
because they're just not like there's no movie that like does it right, I guess.
Close.
And
I do. I like the one with John Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
And young Henry Cavill.
And
He's
yeah,
actually
and
like
young
it.
Henry Cavill, exactly. Last time I watched it, I was like, oh my god, wait a minute.
and see, like I know that one is objectively good, but it's just they changed so much, and I love the book so much. It's just hard.
Yes.
So I don't bash it or anything. I'm just like that's not how it happened.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's good for
But there's gonna have to be, especially for that long of a freaking book. You know?
Well, although you could argue the best kind of like probably beat Vendetta.
Touche.
Well, see, Derry, the book is usually better, but I said earlier I'm in the camp of the movie's better for this.
Also, Guy Pearce was in The Count of Monte Cristo.
I think that
Alicia.
was before Memento.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember he was in Count of Monte Cristo, and then maybe the same year or the year after, The Time Machine came out,
Yes.
and I watched The Time Machine.
Yes.
That's such a bad movie. So
That
bad.
was not. Yeah. That's another one where they try to take a novella and just make it.
Whoop.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, Derry, it's not really an achievement when I'm pretty sure I read the abridged version. I should check back with me in a bit, see if I actually read the unabridged version of Count of Monte Cristo.
So good. I actually listened to it on audiobook, and it was really good. But I had to look up on Wikipedia like how everybody was connected because there's so many characters. They start getting crossed in my brain. But yeah, it's definitely worth reading.
Also, Derry, 100% right. Stardust is the other exception where I did not like that book, but the movie is so great.
Which one?
Stardust, Neil Gaiman.
Oh yes, yeah.
The book is mediocre at best, like being nice about it. The movie, which he was involved in, like he fixed everything wrong with the book and made it so much more fun.
Exactly.
So Memento was 2000, Monte Cristo was 2002, and Time Machine was also 2002.
Oh, okay, so I was right. Okay, cool.
Planet of the Apes.
Guy Pearce is not Planet of the Apes.
Oh, he was in one of
No,
those
it's Marky
versions.
Mark
Oh, that's right.
and the Monkey Bunch.
That's right.
I just thought of that. I'm going to use that one again.
I forgot this movie gets going so quickly too. I mean, because we're already at this iconic scene.
I know, yeah.
So
I missed
I've
the-
taught
the
a
word.
few stage fighting classes for kids theater, and I always pull up this scene because it is just one of the most easy to follow, but also exquisitely choreographed stage fights.
Well, I mean, the movie itself is only an hour and 30 minutes long,
Right, yeah.
so it's pretty short.
Yeah. I think that's mostly, it's like the book is very good, but this just kind of, it's like the whole conceit of the book is that the book is the good parts version of the original story. And the movie is like the best parts
Right.
version. And so like, there's no fat here. It's all just meat. And so it's just like, that's why there aren't really any dull moments of the movie. It's just distilling the book to be
Well,
the
and there's
most streamlined, fun thing.
celebrity versions that they
I'm
do.
gonna
over the
say
pandemic.
Jack Black is playing
'Cause that's-
Wesley in the scene.
Yeah, because that's even more condensed. But it's still all the best parts.
It still was an hour long.
It was an
Yeah,
hour.
so and you're like, what did they cut?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like the between cuts.
exactly
Is really all it is.
Wait, what is this?
the celebrity version.
I'll send you a
So-
link. So they
Yeah.
what they did is to raise money. They had actors
It was
home.
during COVID, like the home video version or whatever.
Exactly.
So
everybody
they would
was stuck at
submit
home.
shots of them doing their part,
Okay.
and every 5 minutes it switches actors. Like what is it? The Jonas Brothers married to Phoenix. They do a scene as Buttercup and Wesley, and then halfway through they swap, and so then he's Buttercup. Or was that Brandon Routh? That was Brandon Ruth. Brandon Ruth. Brandon Ruth.
Brandon
Superman.
And his the other
Brandon
Superman.
Ruth and his wife, and they swap halfway between, and Brandon Ruth plays Buttercup.
Yeah.
And
That's funny.
I have no idea how I was unaware of this, but I need to
So
see
good.
this.
Oh
So,
yeah. I'll share it
the
with
whole
everybody.
scene on the ship has Inigo Montoya played by Din Djarin, by Mando.
Fine. Oh, what was
I
it?
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
But you don't have to many chance of it. There's 6 fingers on your right hand.
you always begin conversation. Oh, the dialogue just
Might
kills
be
me.
the best sword fight scene. I'm trying to think if there's anything that we consider better, but this is pretty.
There's
darn
some
up there.
things.
Well, yeah.
So-
But Lord of the Rings.
Choreographer.
Lord of the Rings doesn't count because it's just the best.
So, if you've seen the film adaptation of Prince Caspian, Ben Barnes was like, "Oh, I modeled Caspian's accent off of Mandy Patinkin's Inigo Montoya,"
Oh.
and then he got to the line of like talking about like how his father was killed, and he's like, "Wait, what?" Like, I'm like, "This sounds familiar."
Right. I didn't know that. He's based off.
It makes
Love
sense.
that sword.
And again, the backstory in the book of Inigo and his father is just so beautiful.
It does definitely add a lot with his backstory as well. Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming anyone that's in the chat has probably seen the movie, so I'll just jump ahead to a later scene. But like,
Spoilers, everybody.
yeah. So when it still breaks my heart. It's like a bittersweet breaking of my heart that Mandy Patinkin, he had just lost his father when he started this film, and when he finally reaches the 6-fingered man, and he says, "I want my father back, you son of a bitch." And he's like, "For once, I beat cancer." And I'm like, "Oh god, oh god." So
Yeah. It's that little clip. It's just, and you can see him because, like, in his explanation, he's like, he's like, "I really did want my father back," and that's all I was thinking about in that scene. And
yeah. And he even 30 years later, he's still choking up about that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god.
What is it about older generations that they look older than they actually are? Like Inigo Mandy Patinkin's only like 25 here.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? He always looks like that.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, it's like Steve Martin. He's looked like hasn't aged since he was 20. Here, Max. No, come here, buddy.
Okay, so anybody who's watching, I just shared in the chat on YouTube. So because the only way to share like a link, the full compiled version of the celebrity one. So it's so you can watch all of them together because they were all sent in as clips and then they put them together. Rob Reiner put them together. So there. Now you got the link. Definitely worth watching.
And correction, he was 35. I was wrong.
35. There we go.
Either way.
You're just
It
old.
seems a little horribly.
You're
I
older.
don't know if the link worked.
Yeah, it's the beards. Yeah, I know. But there's also there's certain people that just like Betty White. Okay, she was 60 forever.
Yeah.
Even right before she died.
Yeah.
So, she looked good.
So Daria, how old are you saying I look then?
You're some beard.
You're amazing.
But I bet Carrie Elways is up to this point.
Oh, probably.
I'm not that kind of either.
He was like just getting started, wasn't he? Then there's like a whole thing where he breaks his foot somewhere.
Yeah, kicking an orc skull.
That's a different movie.
When they're running along the ridge later, I'll point it out later. But there's a point where he's
Yeah,
actually
and then-
hobbling
and- yeah.
because no, he actually broke his toe.
Yeah, and Gimli's face is burning and Legolas is rib when they're running along the
Oh
ridge.
no!
And all three of them
Okay,
broke at the same
So
time.
something else that I highly recommend listening to is the audiobook read by Carrie Elways of his book As You Wish, and it's about him filming Princess
Yeah.
Bride, and it's amazing. But hearing it read by him too is just it's amazing. It's so good.
It does sound lovely.
It's,
I could listen to him talk all day.
yeah, exactly.
You're too kind, Derry. I'm not 23.
Quite
I mean, not to crap on movies nowadays, but these are like long shots of the actors actually doing the sword fighting, not stunt doubles, not quick, like, frame changes or whatever.
Yeah.
So like what I always find interesting about this fight compared to the guy who choreographed this, right, was like the stunt double extra for Errol Flynn, and he always brags, I'm the one who choreographed Darth Vader and Obi-Wan's fight. I was like, don't brag about that. It's a terrible fight. This is a fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you hang your career on.
Yep.
Obi-Wan barely able to block Darth Vader's attacks because he's so old. Even though he wasn't that old. Don't. That's a fight scene.
Yeah.
That's
Well, and I feel like you used to back in the day, like, they'd have actors do training for fighting or sword fighting or whatnot. And if you still, sometimes it's stunt doubles, but, the actual choreographing fights, unlike, the Bourne movies that I feel like were the big thing that did it, where it's just the camera shaking so much you can't see anything happening. It's so irritating.
Actually, my problem with Gladiator is the man on foot camera work they do in the arena was nauseating.
Yo, Max.
Ready for the jump scare? It happens every time.
I know, every time. We watched this with my kids the first
Ugh.
time. They were like,
I didn't have to miss.
I didn't have to miss.
oh.
I believe it. So what happens now?
We face each other as God intended. Sportsmanlike. Not like
We were watching
Weapons.
anniversary
Skin
and
against
alcohol he could put away.
That's right.
Like they would show up at the bar, and they would pull out a crate and finish the whole thing.
kill you now.
Fine, and then he'd hit the bottles of whiskey, and then he'd go into the table.
He wants a slightly
I remember seeing something where, like, when he had to have back surgery, they had no idea how much anesthesia to give him. So they compared it to him telling them how many beers it takes him to get buzzed.
Yeah,
And that was, like, what they were basing the decision on, apparently.
Wow.
Because they had no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't even exercise. Exactly. I love it.
And I just love the politeness of both Inigo and he's like, oh, I just want you to feel like you're doing a good job. It's okay.
Right.
Thank you, Kay. Yes, my Reptar shirt. And I feel like I had to pull it out for this, so.
not playing it, Max.
Come here, buddy. Come here, Max. No,
that
we're not.
little one shot you realize that they can really do that comparison.
I mean, it looks like Lord of the Rings, but that was
With forced
stunt doubles.
perspective.
Yeah.
Need more pleasant conversation during fight scenes.
Max.
Minister's been around forever, right? Like watching Thrice. I love how they do that too.
We just rewatched that.
Rest well and dream of large women. But lay down. Good boy.
Well, then these two I always think of like a mockumentary. With the Baron.
Count is with Rob Reiner and then the all the mockumentaries. To I feel it's best in the show. I wish that was super long stuff.
The winner are those footprints for Gildo.
Shall we track them both? But it is nothing. Only the princess matters.
Clearly, this is all planned by Gildo.
Great trap.
So be ready.
Perfect score for this type of movie.
Would this be a trap?
I always think everything could be a trap.
I agree, Derry. It is a fantastic soundtrack and does it better than Lady Hawk did. Like Lady Hawk's movie is but Lady Hawk the synthesizer is so badly matched, whereas in this it works perfectly.
Just an excitable puppy you got over there, Evie.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't realize he was so loud.
I could just see him. I was laughing.
If there can be no arrangement, then we are at an impasse.
I wouldn't trust you to serve me.
I can't compete with you physically, and you're no
Match for my
brain.
Oh,
That's smart.
all right now.
Have you ever heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates? Red. In that case, I challenge you to a battle of wits for the princess. To the death? I accept. Good. Then pour the wine.
I feel like it's Hungary or Czech.
And then here the scene that has become such a specific thing over time with the wine in front of me, and just how big of a thing from this is for people who probably would get that phrase who don't even know what the movie is.
Right.
There's among more deadly poisons.
I mean,
In Buckinghamshire.
I didn't even know Lady Hawk existed until you guys talked about it, but Derry, Michelle Pfeiffer, saying that was Michelle Pfeiffer's moment of most physically breathtaking. Listen, she's still, speaking of people that do not age,
Yes.
she's still
Yeah.
smoking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I freely admit to objectifying her. So you know,
Pfeiffer and Rutger Hauer and Matthew Broderick
Yes.
as the rogue.
Young Matthew Broderick.
Yep.
interesting.
It's very Princess Bride. It's
Very.
very
Yep.
similar in
I have
style.
not seen this movie, so I will add it to the list.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what it is? An 80s fantasy movie that does not age well? Dragon Slayer. With the guy, what's his name?
Tom Cruise one.
No, that's a legend.
Yeah.
Who is the guy that played in Ghostbusters, the little henchman guy? No. The curly haired guy who was
So top cast is
Huh?
Peter McNichol.
yes, Peter McNichol. There you go. Because he played the Vigo Vlado.
Plays Galen. It's like
What's the name of the picture from Ghostbusters? Vigo?
Yes.
Oh, so Vigo from Ghostbusters, the painting. He's the little henchman. Sorry, Ghostbusters 2. My husband just corrected me. So where the poison is, and I choose.
I don't see anything.
fool.
So funny. I'll tell you in a minute. First, let's drink. Me from my glass, and you from yours.
Oh, the over-the-top expressions and Carrie Elway's just stone cold too.
No, Robert. There.
You guessed wrong. You only think
Get I guessed wrong. That's so funny.
I switch glasses when your back would turn. You
Fool, you fell victim to one of the most classic blunders. Never get online radiation.
It's very important not to fall victim to one of the most classic ones.
Buttercup is so pointless.
My uncle laughs so hard when he watches this scene because he's both Sicilian and was in Vietnam.
I'm no one to be trifled with. That is all you ever need to know.
Somebody's movie I can hear.
Oh.
They were both poisoned.
Do you hear it now?
Better, yeah.
I'm listening to it in the same headphones, so it's hard for me to tell if I'm.
I really appreciate how he plays it. This Humperdinck is so melodramatic, but it's not Snidely Whiplash dramatic. Like,
Yeah.
you know he's had a lot of practice at just grunting, but in real life, as opposed to just being, he's not twisting and twirling his mustache.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys seen the BBC's Robin Hood TV show?
Mm-mm.
No.
Because, okay, so that show I think is so underrated. It's campy as all hell, but Richard Armitage, who played Thorin in the Hobbit movies, he plays the Sheriff of Nottingham, and he plays it straight the entire way. And so he always plays it straight, whereas it's really campy otherwise. And that's where I watched it. I'm like, this dude is a fantastic actor. And that's why I was actually excited to see the Hobbit movies when they came out.
He did a great job as Thorin.
Yeah, he's great. But definitely recommend. I don't know if it's on streaming anymore, but it was a ridiculous but fun show.
Bet my life on it.
And that of the princess's footprint. He is alive. Was
Well read. He's well read. Maybe he's also studied with some books.
I don't know what I shall be very put out.
Do you think the hill they filmed this on is the one where they do the downhill race in England, where they chase the cheese wheel?
I forgot about that.
I was going to say, if I knew that, I did not remember that. You said it, so that's great.
Cheese wheel they chase, and whoever can get the cheese wheel wins. Hundreds of people in England throw themselves down these hills to chase after. You can watch videos on it.
Oh my gosh.
It's more painful than watching this.
Also, T 100% just compared BBC's Robin Hood to like the show Merlin, but Robin Hood and 100% similar feel.
Okay.
So it's England's version of Smallville.
I don't know if I'd say that, but
The villain of the week, going up
Villain
against
of
the
the
two
week.
greatest heroes that England has to offer.
I love anything Robin Hood.
kind of. I mean,
Yeah, but this is the scene. You see how awkward he is getting up? His foot is broken. He was in like a crash, and everybody got really pissed at him because they were like, "You're the star of the show. You can't get hurt," but he did it anyway.
I mean, Luke just went and got plastic surgery and got back to work.
that's always the argument for people who do not do their own stunts. They're like, hey, if I get hurt, the whole thing shuts down.
Right.
And so it's always interesting, the other side of the whole stunt thing.
Well, and it's one of those, like, he admits in the book, you know, he's like, I was just arrogant, you know, in my 20s. And could do no wrong, right?
Very soon again, you should bless me for destroying him before he found out what you really
Very simple costumes, too.
Faithfulness he talks of, your enduring faithfulness. Now tell me truly, When you found out he was gone, to get engaged to a prince at the same hour, if you wait a whole week, have respect for the day.
You must be what's next got to get.
Everyone will be wearing them in the future.
Day.
COVID happened.
You could die too for all
Like, as you wish. My sweet Wesley.
What have I done?
She just throws herself down the hill too. Doesn't just try to get down, just like where.
Speaking of stunt people, though, whoever had to do that.
How many takes?
Oh my gosh. Oh,
This is just one of those movies. It doesn't matter how many times I see it. I just like knowing what is gonna come. It makes me love it even more.
yes. Exactly, Derek. It's just like the whole Superman thing. That's my big problem with him. How do you not know that it's him? Just because he puts glasses on.
I mean, admittedly, when I have my glasses on, people don't recognize me. So,
Really?
He's been gone for 7 years though, so she doesn't recognize him. Oh, she's been depressed.
All I can do is stay for a while.
It has, I feel like, has been a while, and he's wearing a mask. You'd think she'd recognize the voice or the eyes a little bit, but there's at least a little room for like, okay, it has been a while.
I mean, also, he does have a mustache. So that can, like, when my husband shaved off his beard, he looked like a completely different person.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
Sure,
That I
let me.
definitely.
Then yes, I do, Derry. I do look 23.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Okay.
You don't pick a fiancé, it's too late.
Yeah.
I was going to say Peter Sellers, but
No.
it's because they were both in Murder by Death.
Were they? Yes, exactly.
Oh, a fire swamp.
ROUSs. Rodents of
I can't believe
unusual
they
size.
exist.
You know, this shot, you'd think that Weta Workshop built this set.
So yes, Derry, I agree with the Buttercup is just the Princess in the Tower in this book, or in the story, in the movie version. As I recall, in the book, she's much more proactive.
Mhm.
Well, you've read it, at least you, Nico, but I need to finish reading Tess. Tress.
The Sanderson one.
Yeah,
Because he flipped it on the edge and made her the hero.
hmm it's kind of supposed to be in homage to the Princess Bride and that kind of story, but yeah, it's the princess character who's not actually a princess. Goes off to try to rescue her love, the prince, who's in trouble.
And you said AR's book is like Princess Bride too.
It is not Princess Bride. It has the feel of a 1980s boyhood classic. It's the narrative voice is similar.
So A.R. Witham's Legend.
Legend of Blackjack.
Has the narrative feel to this, but it is more like Goonies or Never-Ending Story.
Yeah, that book, it felt like I'd read it before almost, because the storytelling was so nostalgic and like comfortable. It just like reading it, I felt nostalgic even though I'd never read the book before. It just really encapsulated that feel of something like I was reading it when I was a kid.
But written for you and me though too, in that sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stories coming out lately that are capturing both the YA and adult feel.
Yeah, and it doesn't talk down to you like a lot of kids' books do. Like, and I read when I was a kid, I remember there was some books I read with like terrible examples of talking down to you. Like, I don't know what the book actually even was, but I read some book and I hated it because the character had a photographic memory, and so to remember things, they would like pretend they had a camera and go like click. And I'm like, that's so not how it works. And it specifically deals with that in A.R. Witham's book in the correct way. I was like, thank you. 6-year-old me, or whatever, thanks.
A lot of that, I think, has to do with the respect of the author for the age he's writing for, too. Like, yeah, a lot of the 50s and 60s books feel like an older generation telling children how to act. Whereas we were listening to children in it, and it doesn't talk to kids at all. It's for children. It's meant to be read to them by adults, and it's respected really well.
Like Prydain Chronicles are pretty good though. For that 60s kids.
So T,
I read
I
that.
highly recommend Blackjack. It's on my TBR.
Recommend what? Sorry.
Blackjack. Legend of Blackjack.
Oh yes,
He
yeah,
has it on his TBR.
Yeah,
it's very good.
I'm gonna listen to it now. Too.
The audio is also supposed to be very, very good.
So now we're here. After a time, how do they know someone else?
I remember hearing that wording.
Isn't this their first scene they filmed together, basically?
One of the first.
Like they had just got on set together. They didn't know each other, which is why their chemistry in this is really good. I want to know how they. I want to know the trick of that. Like, how do you have the sand and you can go through? Like, how much sand is in?
Pit.
Is it a full pit? And how loose is it? Or is there a diaphragm that he dives through and it's just holding enough
You
sand?
can read his memoir. He talks about actually how dangerous.
I bet.
I definitely am gonna have to check out this memoir.
Yeah.
Triumphant music.
Dairy.
Lips are
Even with sand in them.
It's true. It's true.
classic look. He looks like
Airplane.
airplane.
The memoir is called As You Wish.
Please don't die here.
No. We have already succeeded. I mean, what are the three colors of the flies? One, the flames fly. There's a part of the sound in each one before that. Two, you like their sound? Two, how to discover that. Like some in the future we can avoid that too.
Where are your uses? Usual size. I don't think they exist.
It's just still probably one of my favorite brief little movie scenes of all time. I don't think they're gonna.
I also have a hard time believing this isn't Frank Oz doing the voice of the ROUS, though.
Wait, what?
Yes, there is at the very end when he's stabbed.
Really?
And it's Grover Yoda.
I was unaware of that factoid, but that is funny.
I don't know that it is. I imagine it is because I don't know how they could have time to do it.
Buttercup, just standing there.
Bunk.
Oh, come on, whack it.
Really well made shoes.
Yeah, seriously.
That's going to be effective. That's hilarious, Gary. That Andre the Giant would keep Robin warm by just covering her head with his hand. I bet he was in earnest. Oh. Okay, those are very thin trees, and very well lined. How are those crossbowmen hiding? I don't see them. Maybe they're cartoons.
Maybe they very much watched Monty Python's How Not to Be Seen.
Uh-huh.
They just didn't stand up.
It was the middle one.
I mean, I know it's not this movie, but Robin Hood Men in Tights. I know that if I recall correctly, they were hesitant to cast Cary Elwes because they weren't sure if he could be funny because he was too good looking.
Yeah.
And he's hysterical.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is. Exactly.
And honestly, Robin Hood and that just has to deliver it deadpan to get it right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what makes
I can't imagine anybody else playing that in that role in that movie either.
So both of the trees that they jumped out from had like bushes next. to
Oh,
them,
okay.
So that's how they
Okay. Yeah, that's some
Got it.
bushes in for coverage. Got
a shrubbery.
it. Shrubbery. Were there two shrubberies?
Okay.
You can give your fun fact here. Fun fact here. When he hits him on the head with a sword here, he actually knocked him out. And he had to go to the hospital.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This hit is authentic.
Uh-huh.
His six fingers are not.
That's right.
Gary, you mean the torturer's lips, right?
Isn't he another one who like had worked with Rob Reiner in other movies? Like all of them. It's kind of like how
I'm sure they got into a lot of
you know,
favors.
it's all
Yeah.
the familiar favorites. Rob Reiner did so many films. He still makes films.
Uh,
What do we make?
I make really good popcorn.
Yeah.
And we did discover that the store brand of movie theater salt actually does make it feel like movie theater popcorn. And then yesterday I made
Cookies.
with M&Ms.
Yeah. Oh, I love that dress. That's the dress I want.
I remember when I read the book, when it introduces Prince Humperdinck, and he's in the zoo, and he's first scene he kills like an orangutan. And I'm like, I messaged Alan. I was like, Alan, don't read the Princess Bride book. He kills an orangutan.
Does he have a problem with orangutans?
Alan loves orangutans.
Okay.
so apparently the people who played the ROUSs, one of them was an Ewok, and one of them was a goblin in Labyrinth.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Fun fact.
Was Rob Reiner involved in Labyrinth?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
This is also one of the only movies he directs that he doesn't appear in.
He doesn't make any cameo at all?
No.
Not in the crowd or anything? Yeah,
maybe,
that's
but
true.
he usually puts
That's
his
true.
face in it. He
Yeah.
could have been a guard right there.
Yeah,
Would
exactly.
have been short. Right, stay here. Don't let her go.
Yeah, Labyrinth is Henson. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
I
thought
just wondered if maybe he was like a director involved with it or something.
Boo! Boo! Give it up.
he actually has like a part.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Queen of
Well, like he's the director who was actually interviewing them in Spinal Tap.
right. When he's in Alex and Emma, and Sleep is in Seattle.
And Harry Met Sally.
When Harry Met
Yeah.
Sally.
Who other friend? Or is he one of the
Oh wait,
couples
no,
that's
is he in
interviewed?
When Harry Met Sally? He's in
Directed.
Sleep is in Seattle. That's what I meant.
Yeah, but he directed Harry Met Sally. Yeah, that's it. Look it up.
I love that Bruce so much.
You're
yes, very smart. Shut up.
Yes. Oh, that wolfhound.
Yeah, Harry Met Sally. Spinal Tap was before Princess Bride. Then Harry Met Sally. Few Good Men.
Stand By Me was before Princess Bride too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a real wolfhound. Exactly. Yeah.
They've been showing up a lot of movies we're
Beautiful.
watching lately.
I know.
What was the
Or I
last
just keep
one?
noticing them because
Was it
they
A Knight's
keep
Tale?
talking about it. Probably, yeah. Blends in with whatever's hanging on the shot.
This fleece. Man, this scene, Rugen is watching like a psychiatrist in this one.
What do you mean?
Like he's just eating the scene up, like analyzing how they're acting with each other, as opposed to being devious. So he's being what he's about to be right now in this scene.
Yeah.
As the psychologist.
What? He's the bad guy? Shocking.
Shocked. I'm shocked, I said. Shocked to find out that there's gambling here.
Yes. Here's your winning.
Thank you. I'm watching that.
I know.
It's not a book, but
It could be.
Casablanca.
Very dashing. How did they not see the door there? These two. Speaking of chemistry, these two.
No.
My wife
Well, okay, so in the
got a fruit. I'm smooth.
the remake with the actors, this is Elijah Wood and Andy Serkis
And Andy
doing
Serkis.
this scene.
That's hysterical.
It's so good.
I can't wait to watch this thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Look for an you can send up an uncut version.
It's,
Great.
it's where it's all edited together. Yeah.
Oh, I get to actually watch the scene this time.
I'm gonna get up and go to the bathroom.
Layla saying hi.
Hi, Layla.
What's your favorite scene, Layla?
Yeah, exactly.
I did tell them how much you hate this movie, and that's why we don't want you here.
Oh, we want you here.
Wait, does she genuinely hate this movie?
She does not like this movie.
What? Divorce her.
I made her They're saying they should get a divorce, is what I'm hearing.
That would be amenable.
No, I made her watch it, and it's not her thing. But she posted
Why not, though? It's
years
so
ago.
dramatic.
She posted on her Facebook
Anime.
about how she didn't like it, and like 4 people blocked her. And I'm like, that's what you get.
There's kind of a nostalgic element because all you guys watched it when you were younger, right? The first time. So I don't know if you didn't grow up with it, I don't know that you would find.
Well, I only watched it about 10 years ago. I was 25. So, and mind you, I also was my first experience with Carrie Elways was a Mel Brooks movie. I was expecting campy like humor, so I was kind of already primed for that a little bit.
Yeah, and it's like it's her like style of humor in movies is just not really this, and she's not really into the campy stuff like I am and anything too. Like, she doesn't like any like the Mel Brooks movies that I love. Anything like that either.
Listen,
it's fine.
History of the World Part 1 and Blazing Saddles.
I'm a Young Frankenstein all the way.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein we watch every year at Halloween.
I do like Young Frankenstein, but not as much as a lot of people do. I would take History of the World Part 1, Men in Tights, Blazing Saddles all over Young Frankenstein. Although it's still great.
Yeah,
not saying anything negative.
Yeah.
But
but I also love To Be or Not. That's my favorite serious one.
I was about to say that one was so surprisingly good.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible Mel Brooks fan because I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh.
Have you seen Producers?
Yeah.
I haven't. I've only seen History of the World Part 1, Blazing Saddles, Robin Hood Men in Tights, and Young Frankenstein.
So
the original Producers is terrible.
Don't watch it.
But the new one with the musical with
Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane, right?
Yes.
Fabulous.
Gene Wilder is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but Zero Mostel is greasy, creepy. Oh, he's terrible.
He's terrible.
I couldn't stand it. But the new one is all of Mel Brooks. He took a year off after everything else he had done, or 10 years off, and then did the production and distilled himself into a form and made Producers.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what he. So it's incredible.
It's all of the best of his stuff.
Every laugh and every one of them is inappropriate.
Yeah.
I will say that my husband and I tried watching History of the World Part 2, the series. It is awful.
Really?
If you watch it long enough, there are some funny bits, but
it's just not the same. So
it's not.
It's
was it just too tasteless?
What?
Part of the hilarity of History of the World Part 1 is that it starts from the beginning and it works its way up through history. There's no chronological like sense to History of the World Part 2. And also like there, other than a kind of odd framing device, there's pretty much not a consistent like character throughout.
Yeah.
Like actor wise, but
from the previews, it kind of looked like it was just kind of drunk history.
Yeah, I mean, which is
probably.
It's kind of muddy drunk, kind of meta. Drunk history is pretty much History of the World Part 1, but with alcohol.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I was looking for Mel Brooks because I haven't seen The Producers, and I haven't seen 12 Chairs. Although I have a copy of 12 Chairs. I've heard it's not great. But I think I've seen most everything else he's done.
I think 12 Chairs is the
No, that's
one.
High Anxiety is
High
Hitchcock.
Anxiety is Hitchcock.
And then Silent Movie.
Oh yeah, Silent Movie. I grew up with Mel Brooks though, so like that's my family's humor.
Her grandfather was on the phone with him.
Yes, because he's a graduate.
What?
He's a graduate from BMI, so he has a whole story about talking to Mel Brooks.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh yeah.
Because her grandfather's name was Leroy.
Which means the king. And so when he was talking to Mel Brooks says, "So you know what your name means?" And he said, "Yes." And he's the king. And he said, "Yes, it's good to be the king."
And then he hung up. I understand that, Derry. So like Mel Brooks is very American, and like have you seen Spam-A-Lot, right? Spam-A-Lot is very British, right?
Yes.
Because it was them saying it was
the best of
it was Eric Idle
Python.
saying I'm gonna do what producers did, but with all of our distilled versions of all of our jokes into a single Broadway show, including Always Look at the Bright Side of Life is in that too. And so yeah, they are very different / similar in as colleagues, I would say.
Yes, but
yeah, there is a difference
if
though,
you
right?
like Monty Python, you don't necessarily like Mel Brooks.
Because Mel Brooks is a walking fart joke, right? Versus Monty Python is walking British joke of how stiff upper lip can you present this joke and take yourself way too seriously. It's perfect.
I do enjoy both, but yeah, they're very different.
Yeah.
And I mean, they both have some hits and misses. But
exactly.
I was going to say for another fun Shakespeare one, Joss Whedon did A Much Ado About Nothing.
Yes.
That was actually really good.
Yes. Yeah. Much Ado About Nothing is my favorite Shakespeare. And so I love the Kenneth Branagh one, but I loved the Joss Whedon.
So Alan hosted a watch along of, speaking of Shakespeare, Alan hosted a watch along for his patrons last Monday of Get Over It. From the early I think it was 2001. It's one of those like teen comedies that's like supposed to be like a retelling of A Midsummer Night's Dream, but like it's very meta where they like purposely subvert it, and it's
like Clueless and
kind of yeah. But like it's like they're doing a musical version of A Midsummer Night's Dream called A Midsummer's Rockin' Eve.
Okay.
And like their character Kirsten Dunst is in it, and Colin Hanks and Ben Foster. Martin Short plays a theater director who's hysterical.
Of course.
I would highly recommend it. It's so good.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't ringing a bell. I looked it up on IMDb, and I'm pretty sure I have seen that. Not really my thing, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
It was in the same era of Bring It On and those types of teen movies. So
stuff I've liked, but not me. See, yeah, Derry's exactly right. The Much Ado But Nothing Else Time. It's got Nathan Fillion in it. It's got Sean Maurer in it too from Firefly.
Absolutely.
Always a win.
With Nathan Fillion.
I do think a young Nathan Fillion as Wesley for like a thing would have been really fun though, to be honest too. He still wouldn't have been Carrie Elwes, but it would have been fun.
Yeah.
Dr. Horrible Sing-Along blog.
Yes. Dr. Horrible. Oh my gosh. That was like college for us though.
No.
I actually, that was around the time that I watched Princess Bride, I watched Dr. Horrible's blog. So
yeah. Oh, I don't know if you can find that anywhere.
Oh sure, you can never buy it.
I'm not a huge musical fan overall, but I love that so much.
Yeah.
How do we boot
Captain Hammer.
He
said he loved that
one.
He
doesn't like musicals.
Oh.
I'm not usually a big fan of musicals. There are some definite exceptions.
You like my book, I'll forgive you.
I like Phantom of the Opera. It's an exception.
There you go.
There are others. I can't think of what they are.
Which one?
I said there are others. I can't think of what they are right now.
That's cats.
The Renaissance of Disney musicals counts. So if you like Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast, and
I didn't even like Disney movies as a child.
How dare you, sir? I can't be around these people anymore. Okay.
No. That's true, Derry. Yeah, I'll look for I need Dr. Horrible again. Captain Hammer. We quote that all the time.
Oh, was that on YouTube?
Derry says it's on YouTube. Yeah.
I just put a message in the private chat with the link.
Nice. Yeah, it used to be on Netflix, and hasn't been for years.
I still have to watch. I finally found that. Speaking of Inigo Montoya, Captain Alatriste on YouTube with Viggo Mortensen, Captain Alatriste, which is like impossible to find in the U.S. And I've got it sitting there waiting for me to watch it.
Hindsight is 2020. I used to have a DVD of Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, and it got lost in multiple moves. So,
See, a show that it's a shame you can't get anywhere is Jack of All Trades with Bruce Campbell. You can't stream it. They don't make it anymore. If you can find the old DVD box set, it's the only way to watch it. It's like a season, but it's fantastic. Just campy wonderfulness.
When was that? When is that?
Yeah, he's got like everything Bruce Campbell.
Oh,
Great biography, by the way.
Sam Raimi made it before the Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
If that fills in the timeline.
Yeah.
2000.
So it'll be after Briscoe.
Yeah, after Briscoe. But yeah, if you can track it down, if you're a Campbell fan, you will love it. It's like it's early 19th century, and he plays kind of a Zorro type of character, and it's very campy, very parroting historical events. Like Vern Troyer plays Napoleon in a few episodes.
What?
For example.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot about the Jesus Grandpa, and I was just giggling over that.
Kills Prince Humperdinck. What were we watching where we had to do that? Well, yeah, no, he gets away. It was some other movie. I need to tell the kids. And then, no.
Yeah.
And they had the same reaction. We were like, oh my gosh, you guys are just right. Oh, this I love Miracle.
Wasn't this like 3 days of filming? And
yeah, because apparently people could not stop laughing because he was just so hysterical.
Yeah,
including Carrie Elwes lying on the lake.
Yeah.
You are the Brute Squad.
I guess there are a few seasons. Apparently, season 1, episode 12 is on YouTube, but that's it.
Okay.
That's helpful.
You took me far too many times watching this to realize when you said you are the Brute Squad, what that meant.
Really?
I'm too stupid to realize what he meant.
Yeah, there you go, T.
Carol Kane, exactly. Often overlooked in this, but that's what we quote most often from this movie is probably
Liar!
Liar! His makeup's not so bad for what it is.
Sharp King's though.
Yeah.
Looks like the vulture woman from Prince Caspian, the original.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I need this as a GIF so bad.
I know. Which part?
Whoa! Look who knows so much.
Yeah. It's gotta be a GIF somewhere.
No, all I can do is this, and then I know. There's not enough Miracle Max GIFs out there.
Right. I want to see like the the outtakes.
I know.
The hours of him just coming up with random crap and then deciding what was best. Like, how did they decide what was best? There she is. Like, ah! It's so good. What a name. Yeah, Derry, I was thinking that too, that when they showed his hands, it was pretty good.
Probably just Elmer's glue.
I mean, could be.
Yeah. It's one of the ways you can do like fake skin.
Oh, really?
But,
Well, I mean,
then it wrinkles up.
well, also like the work on like even the facial stuff, like that's it's good.
Spoonful of sugar.
With the art.
Okay, go swimming for at least an hour. After
Have fun swimming in the castle.
Examples of good marriages.
Yeah.
They can yell at each other, but then they're arm in arm by the end.
It's the chocolate.
It's the chocolate.
Makes the marriage go down easier.
I mean, the physical comedy in this.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I mean, literally just playing a boneless person.
Yeah.
Manages to make it work so well.
Look at that.
They couldn't have done that before they got to the castle, though. I mean,
they had to wait an hour.
Oh, that's right. Well, that was for swimming.
That's right.
They're not swimming.
Yes, exactly. That is me when I wake up in the morning. A million questions. Half coffee first. Ouch.
The wheelbarrow that pushes the plane over the edge.
Yeah.
Why did you blister among our assets?
I'm always distracted by that. Why can't the guards see the three of them standing right there?
Right,
now?
exactly.
How did they get on the wall? I know.
Not good for them. They said they put 60 people on the gate only,
Yep.
and then left everything.
Yeah. It's whoever made a deal with the Brute Squad. Hope we win. Almost look at the camera there.
Where's Max?
So this preacher, this bishop, he actually lived in the town over from where I grew up and would do ceremonies, and you could pay extra to have him do this ceremony.
That's
Oh
hysterical.
my gosh.
It's a little marriage shack.
Marriage is what brings us together today. That blessed arrangement. So, funny story. I think on either this past anniversary or the anniversary before that, I just made like a Facebook post, saying, "Oh yeah, I know, wedding anniversary, whatever," and I quoted the marriage, blessed arrangement, the whole like speech, complete with the W's. And my mother-in-law texts me. She's like, "That's such a sweet message. I don't understand how you spelled it though." And I'm like, "It's from The Princess Bride." True love. By you forever.
This is the first movie we ever watched together. With people sitting between us. But
Yes.
I think this is the first movie we watched.
Yes, we got back to
Frisbee
your
or
dorm
something.
from Frisbee. It was like 1 a.m. I'm like, let's watch Princess Bride. And so I sat down.
Hoping that I would sit next to her.
She was next to me, and her roommate and one of my roommates sat between us. Half raises his sword.
Yeah. Let the Wookiee win.
Yeah. But a quap.
Excuse me.
I feel like walking like that would really be difficult to pull off, too. They do have one of the better looking band sets of the time, too.
Yeah, they're good.
Like, you can absolutely tell it's not real, but it looks pretty good. Well, all things
The
considered.
little tapestry work is really great.
Yeah.
Is it a set or is it someplace in Shropshire or wherever it was that they filmed it? Nice.
Well, they could have taken 60.
It's illegal. My cadence was off. I was a little early, but
I love it. Run.
Yeah, dairy. What a quap.
Bahakwa.
With the music.
I know the music there. It's so cheesy, but
Yes.
it just works. Oh my god. This movie just gives me so much joy.
I know. So polite.
And it's just like, all right, go on. Yeah. It's all of these scenes.
It won't be
with
that.
Nico,
Excuse me.
so real. Like Mandy Patinkin in his Season of Criminal Minds. Also is another one where he was like the character was dealing with just not being able to handle all of the terrible stuff they had to see anymore. And him, the actor, really struggled with it. And so it just was so real, his reactions to everything.
Clue watchathon, yes.
With all 6 endings?
And we need yes.
With all 6 endings.
All of the endings. Love Clue. Oh my gosh.
Madeline Kahn, man.
Keep going, amigo. Yeah.
I mean, he's done. If he figures he's dying, he can pull it out if they'll let him keep going. Shouldn't pull it out for the fact that it could poison his insides, but doesn't look so cool. It looks better to pull it out.
Yeah.
He's thinking, you didn't even hear what I just said.
You're right.
It was a great line. You want to move on to this? Oh.
I don't know why I went back for a second there, but it was very dramatic.
Yes.
I remember when we watched this in the theater for the Q&A thing, everyone you could not hear yourself think because everyone was just screaming after that.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah.
so good. I mean, obviously, I love the "Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die." But that,
it's just such a powerful scene, and just his whole he sells it so well. He's just like embodying.
And then knowing the backstory of Mandy Patinkin and
100%.
Makes you wonder what Ralphie was going through when he said it in his line.
He said
Christmas story. No, when he's working on the code.
That's
on the
right.
code. Son of a bitch! It's on the commercial.
Sometimes language.
I mean, correct, Derry. You gotta honor the moment,
Exactly.
the gravity of that moment.
Given how well
Yes, Sarah. Yeah.
while he's lost his mind, the king is so sweet. Where did he get his attitude from? The prince, from his mom, or was the king this bad before he lost a lot of his memory?
And Anthony trivia?
I think
Sorry, I just saw Sarah's.
I think she means Inigo.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Autograph.
Right? Unless somebody else had just lost his mind in that scene.
Oh yes, Sarah. Yeah, it was mentioned earlier. That
Right.
he had lost his
We're talking
father.
about.
Yeah.
That's one of the best letdowns ever. Like Shakespearean insults. They're just so much better than what we
Derry, the lips.
The caterpillar on his lips.
That is a weird looking mustache.
You know. I think it was longer earlier. They trimmed it down.
Well, it was like didn't Errol Flynn have a mustache like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I think that was.
I think it's longer in other scenes.
Oh, okay.
Your soul. Smack.
Like how he picks up.
Gently. So, an interview with Mandy Patinkin, this scene in the window right now, Mandy Patinkin was trying to figure out what to do with his life at the time, too. So, when he responds to the offer to become the Dread Pirate, it's another very genuine line. It's him trying to figure out what to do with it next to his life. And it's still stuck with him.
I just love Andre the Giant.
I do want that story. I do want him as
Oh yeah.
Gerhard Roberts as a book.
I would love a follow up. Yeah.
Well, when you read the book, did you just read the original, like as it was published before this film came out, or did you read the extended after?
Yeah, mine has like 3 prologues that are like introductions. Yeah, 25th and 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has all those. I don't know that he has. I've read it. I don't know that you have. Yeah.
When I originally read like the spoiler alert, people, Buttercup's baby portion, that was like after the movie had come out, like 10 years after, whatever. I was like, I hate this so much, but the longer, I just could not stop thinking about it, and I'm like, I get it, like I get why he did that, and it's I don't know, just everything is so meta about the book and the film and just the extensions he put on it. And I'm like, all right, I get it. Like, this is great. So,
That's the other one we do all the time.
Because we all do that.
It's so great. I'm not crying. Oh, and actually, that one will get you in the celebrity one
Don't
too.
say
I won't
anything.
say
Yep, don't give it
why,
away.
but yes, it's gonna get
Wait, what?
you so good.
Watch the celebrity one.
Yep.
And that's all we're gonna say.
Okay. Okay.
Worth an hour every time.
Oh,
So we have people here now, so,
So
we need to
good.
re-announce the giveaway, right?
sure. Yeah.
Anybody here? Anybody in the audience?
I think everybody who joined us for Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
They
Rings,
probably
yeah.
already have copies. But if you don't have copies of our books, the
and you're
first
interested.
ones in the series. So yeah, if you want to enter to win a copy of the first books in our series as either audiobook, ebook, or print, just put as you wish in the comments. And if you read the book, mention that. That's worth an extra entry. And then I'll do a drawing and I'll post it. I'll post it in 24 hours or something like that. Yeah. So give you guys time to do that. So thank you so much, Nico and Evie,
thanks
for
for coming.
joining us.
Yeah, thanks for including me. I love this movie, so I'm so happy to experience it again with you guys. So.
Well, and did you say you've seen Clue? You do not like Clue?
So I love Madeline Kahn. My
Yes.
husband adores Clue.
Yeah.
I only watched Clue probably 4 years ago. But I'm just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I like my Mel Brooks movies, so my Mel Brooks, Madeline.
This is why you like
Kahn.
Madeline Kahn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fantastic. So, okay, well then I won't have you join us for Clue, but I'll let you know the next time we do another watch along. So, we might have to do a Mel Brooks one, apparently.
Yeah.
Do Men in Tights. Men in Tights is based on. I'm trying to do like books to movies.
I mean, we could do Young Frankenstein.
You could do Young Frankenstein, exactly. Yeah.
I have an idea for when we might need to do that.
Which one?
We'll see.
Okay.
But we have to find a copy because it's not on streaming.
Oh, okay. Talk later. Guess we'll talk later. We'll let you know what we're gonna do next. I know we were talking about doing The Hobbit at some point, right, Nico? And
We'll do that.
Layla will be down for
We'll
that.
do that in
That'll be
September,
when
which will
Layla wants
be
to do it.
for
Yes.
Bilbo and Frodo's birthday.
Correct.
But we're going to do
Yes.
the cartoons this summer,
Right, which is totally you. And
which is just going to be The Hobbit and Return of the King. And if they can convince me, we'll watch Fellowship too. But
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll sit in, but I don't know that you're going
Stardust would be a great
to.
option.
Stardust. That was the other one I was thinking of. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. That was such a fun movie.
Yeah, but that's another.
I remember I didn't realize I had never seen that one until like last year. And I read the book and I was super disappointed. And then everyone's like, check out the movie. And I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And I'm like, oh, this is fantastic.
isn't that Michelle Pfeiffer too?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And Robert De Niro.
Yes.
And young Ben Barnes.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, and then
actually, young Henry Cavill is also in that. I think.
Charlie
That's
Cox
right,
plays his
Henry
dad.
Cavill. Yeah.
Charlie Cox plays his dad.
No, it's the opposite. So Ben Barnes
Right.
plays the dad.
You're right.
Charlie Cox plays Tristan.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Okay. No, we definitely need to do Stardust. We'll have to look at that one over the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a great summer one.
It would.
Also, Derry, great point. The Martian is
Yeah.
also a good movie. I haven't read the book, but also, if you wanted to see me watch me sobbing throughout an entire movie on camera, Arrival is also a good option.
Oh,
Yes.
Arrival. Yeah. Yeah. But also the Martian. If you haven't read the book, The Martian. that's
Arrival.
a really good one.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Excellent.
And Dune.
Dune.
It's like 2.5 hours. Could we do it?
The first half is 2.5 hours.
True.
I was saying, we did the extended Lord of the Rings, so
Yes.
Oh, yeah, touche.
Yes.
all in a row.
Right. Anything shorter. But yeah. Oh yeah, The Martian's a good one.
I still have not seen The Martian or read The Martian,
Oh,
but
it's
it's
good.
very much on the list because I loved Project Hail Mary.
Well,
Absolutely.
they improved the book in the movie because they made adjustments with NASA to make it like the book alone fixed it, changed things in how NASA was doing because he thought of things that NASA hadn't on how to survive on Mars with the
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was the bouncing.
It
It was the way to figure out how you get somebody who's stuck on Mars to communicate if you don't have if your relay is too slow.
Yeah,
There's some other.
that's
science
super cool.
he added.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, so Project Hail Mary, I haven't read yet, but I've heard that one has less language than The Martian. So just know that The Martian is F everything.
Same
So
as
as long
well,
as it doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
If that doesn't bother you, then yeah. But it was hard to listen to as an audiobook because it was like in my head.
Project Hail Mary, I don't recall much, if any. Although audio is definitely the way to go.
Okay.
The audio is fantastic. It's Ray Porter, whom after that I've just checked things out just specifically because he narrates.
Yeah.
That's why I did Bobiverse. I was so excited because he does Rune Lords. But he is a fantastic narrator.
Did you say Ray Porter?
Yeah, Ray Porter.
As in, is that the actor who played like Darth Maul or something?
There's like
He is also an actor.
Never mind, I'm thinking Ray Park.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure he was not Darth Maul, but he is an actor. I think he was Darkseid he did the voice for that in Justice League, but he's been in some other stuff. But he's done a ton of audiobooks, and he does Project Hail Mary, and it's really really good.
So, Alicia of Birdie in the Books, you're the only person who has said anything in the chat. So, guess what? You won!
Yay!
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 Says Birdie!
So, email me and I'll get that sent out to you. So, and whichever way you want it, ebook, print, or audiobook. So, the audiobooks of his books are narrated by him. So, they're pretty fun.
Really, really good too.
Yeah. I think he does a great job. So.
She's narrating her new book.
I am
and
narrating
it's
my
really
new
good.
book. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
I'm working on it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, the one
Nico's
you just
it.
read, Nico. So she's
Yeah.
narrating.
Yeah.
Really good.
So, yeah. So, and that comes out May 30th. And it's called A Deed of Dreadful Note. So it's an Anna Catherine Green historical fiction mystery set in 1872 New York. So,
Really good.
Really excited about that one. So yeah. So Evie and Nico, anything that you have coming up? You want to put a blurb
Look at
out?
the camera here,
Yeah.
and then
Yes.
This game.
It's
In your life.
like a hot ones thing of like.
I love that this is where we all went. Okay.
I have nothing.
What are you reading right now?
What am I reading right now? So I'm reading I'm reading The Revenge of the Rose by Michael Moorcock, the second book in the second bind up of the new Elric bind ups that have been released. And then I'm hoping to be able to start a reread of Royal Assassin, since the Call of Robin Hobb is strong. So
Yeah.
I just finished Full Parent, and now I need to. What was so weird because you know the ending of that one, and they foreshadow it halfway through too, and I forgot that I had actually finished the book and started Golden Fool, and so I forgot that I had finished this one, and so I thought, oh no, I was wrong. I must have misheard everything how it ended with the thing that happens that pulls your heart out in that one, and then it happened, and I'm like, oh no. And she was in the middle of an interview, and I was over here in my chair,
They saw me.
trying, and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm good." And I walked out of the room.
Just reading Hollow.
And went over there and sat down against the wall and cried for half an hour. Because Robin,
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, Royal Assassin. I still remember the first time I read that. I was not okay. But I like seriously though, and people who are huge fans of Hobb definitely check out Janie Words too, because her big Wars of Light and Shadow series is that kind of slower, extremely emotional, character focused, with like huge expansive world and stuff added in. But I was gonna do the whole Paul Rudd thing, like, no, I don't have anything. I'm not doing anything. You know, that whole thing. I'm doing Wistful Ascending right now.
Yeah.
Finished that. I loved it.
Which has been really fun so far. I'm doing this on audio, even though it's physical, because I'm reading Masquerade, which is Discworld right now physically. But yeah, I only have 2 more books this month after that to hit my 20. For readathon, which is Priest of Bones by Peter McLean, and then this big one, which is the first Nicholas Raven in the Wizard's Web by Thomas Pristopnik. That's all I got left this month.
Derry, do you just read all 17 every year?
Or just Fool's Errand.
She has a constant repeat of
And reading Robin Hood.
Yep.
Because if you follow her, so follow Derry. She's another one.
Yep.
She's got great videos with all sorts of different great books. So
yes,
So she's got fantastic Discworld stuff too.
yes,
yeah. Basically, my whole existence now is to aspire to be Derry.
Yeah.
To take over her
Sorry.
mantle. So whenever she's ready to pass it off.
So
So
when-
That's not a bad aspiration.
Derry, so I know you like Discworld. Have you read Dido Abbott's book? Dido Abbott.
Oh, Dido.
Yeah. What is it called?
Yeah.
It's worth checking. I still need to read it too, but everybody who's reading it is calling it. Yeah, there it is. Debunked. Very Discworld. And like the guy sails like during COVID, he got in a sail ship with his family and went
Nico's
across
read it.
the
You wanna hear
Pacific.
what Nico-
Yeah, I want to hear it. Tell us. I'm just saying the
Oh, I haven't read it. I just
author
haven't.
got in a ship
Andrew's read it.
and just sailed around the Pacific for a couple of years.
This was the coolest piece of mail I have ever received for a book, though.
Yeah.
You buy it on the guy's site. He sends it in a package with a real wax seal.
That's cool.
It's signed, and then it comes with this map as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Order.
it was the coolest thing. Yeah, no, Andrew read this. It's also in SPSFC, but my team hasn't had it yet. But it's got all of these in-world stamps on it. I mean, what the guy goes through to send this thing, so cool. I kept all of it. I felt bad to even rip this to open it, but he had twine. It was done really, really well.
Yeah.
Super cool. So yeah, I have not read it yet, but I'm greatly looking forward to it. Andrew said it's fantastic.
I've also been told that Small Miracles by Olivia Atwater, which I think is an SPFBO 8 finalist, I could be wrong on that, is also akin to Terry Pratchett, just in the type of style of humor and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
that one I don't know, but I'm going to add to my list because that sounds interesting.
she wrote Half a Soul, but apparently this is pre her. Obviously, it was self-published, so it was before she got her traditional publishing deal. So, excuse me, sorry about that.
All right. Well, now that we're just listing books,
Yeah.
we can do that for hours. So I guess we'll let y'all go. Have a wonderful Saturday. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll let you know the next time we're going to watch another movie together. So, all right, thanks.
sort of wave and
Bye.
smile until it goes off.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.